Hi, welcome to the Christmas stocking video. Now, last video we made a string sign that said joy, had a snowflake. That was lots of fun, and I'm wanting to hang up some Christmas stockings from it, but I want to redo my stockings this year because normally I buy themes for my boys, whatever they like or into, but I'm done shopping for stockings. I want stockings I can put up year after year, and so we have this. It's already been done. I've done the first one just to kind of work out any kinks, or because honestly, to tell you the truth, I've never done a stocking before. And then now I'm going to show you how to sew it by doing the next one. First off, before we get into the stockings, this week video will be the last Sunday video until January 10th, when I come back again with some more videos, but due to the holidays, I'm going to go ahead and take a break, and you can still catch the Advent calendar videos every day all the way up to the 24th. So let's get into the stocking video. As you see here, I have an old stocking. Now I've already taken it apart, and the only tool you need to take anything that's sewn together apart is this little tool right here. It's called a seam ripper. It's real easy. You just get that little knob right on the little point underneath the thread and go choop, and it's gone. And it's real easy to do. I took this all apart so I can make my own pattern, because I didn't have a pattern for a stocking and I didn't want to buy one. As you can see here, I used fabric to make my pattern. I like using fabric better than paper. It's more sustainable and durable and doesn't rip easily. And the night before Christmas, my kids get to open their stockings, and before all the big presents the next morning. So I always like to fill their stockings with a bunch of goodies, and it's always seemed to be a tight fit. So I wanted to go a little bit bigger, so I had more options for stocking stuffers than the little tiny trinkets. So I went a little extra big on this, and that's why I put an extra inch all the way around. And all I had to do was measure out from here to here, right there. And that's how I kept it even all the way around till I got this pattern. And then of course I did a pattern for this one, and I went more out because of course I added extra here, so I was gonna have to add extra on both sides. This is the pattern I'm going with. I kind of liked it. It was heavy material, and it was blue and white. Okay, and as you can see, there's a right side and a wrong side to this. And of course, I want to make sure that when I do this, I cut these just like that. Now this is my pin cushion. Now they have, in sewing areas, they have different types of pin cushions that you can get. I actually recommend doing what I did with this little guy, because I used to have this white little lamb, and I had that lamb for like 20 plus years, but if you squeezed it, you would get poked by the needles because it was just this little bitty old thing. So what I did was I went to the toy aisle and I found this guy, and I was like, he would be perfect to hold all my needles. And when I squeeze him, because he's full of needles, like look, he's full of needles, and when I squeeze him, I don't get poked by needles at all. And he is like, there's needles all around this little guy, and I don't get poked at all. And I don't have to worry about any needle pricking me or anything like that. So this is what I recommend. Plus he's big and he's cute, and he just stands on my sewing right next to my sewing machine, looking really, really cute. We're going to pin this all the way around. Now that we have all the nails in place, we can go ahead and cut out our fabric. Now you'd think I would just go ahead and reverse this and sew it, turn it inside out, and be done with it. That is not what we're going to do. When that hangs, this is not going to show its shape. It's going to fold in on itself, and I would literally have to stuff something down in there to keep it, to hold its shape while it's hanging. I want it to be able to hang and keep its shape on its own. So in order to do that, what I have done is I have got myself some blue felt, and this is thick material. Take our pattern again, and of course I want to do 2 layers of it. Now when you want to put this together, what you do is you put the 2 right sides together and lay them on top, okay? And then you're going to just lay them right on top of that. Then you're going to put needles, and then you're going to put needles all around, and you're going to sew all around. And then you'll end up turning it inside out through there. And the reason why we do that is because we get a nice seam on the inside, and we don't get all this end material that hasn't been sewn together. Of course, we've already got our pattern made for it, which is this right here. And I went ahead and cut this piece out. What this is a, okay, I forget what this is called. There's a bumpy side that's great for when you iron this to a material. It actually attaches itself to a material. Now I got this because this right here, this nice, soft, oh, fluffy, oh, this is so nice. I love the way it feels. So I'm wanting to add some string to embroider a name in it. I'm going to hand embroider a name in it. So I want to make sure that this is tough enough to handle it. You're going to feel for the bumps. The bumps should always be facing this. This is now in here. I can't pick it up too well off the fabric. It is on there. So now we are going to sew this together. Always backstitch. Then we're going to trim all the little ends off. And then as you can see, what you're going to do is you're going to take all those. You're going to find the right. You're going to find the right and the right. And then you're going to pull it on through. And there you have it. You got your bottom part of your stocking. And it's stiff enough if you use felt. The felt fabric, it's actually stiff enough to hold its shape when you hang it. You're just going to sew one side. That's why I left one side not pinned together, because you're only going to want to sew one side. What I'm doing is I'm unfolding them, and then I'm going to sew them this way, like this. Okay, now that we have that all put together, what we do is we turn this and fold it back over. See, and that makes a nice inseam on both sides. Especially at the seam. Trust me, this will help with your overall structure. Now, ironing seems like one of those not so important things to do while you're sewing, but honestly it does help with your overall structure of everything that you do when you sew and everything. So it really does help with the end result. So when you have a pattern that says iron, iron, you want to line that up facing like that with the bottom of that. See, I didn't pin that at all to it. The reason why I didn't want to do that, and the reason why I'm waiting to sew it onto this, is because if you look, this right here hides all those insides that you really don't want to see. Now I'm going to take a regular needle, yay, and this is the string I'm wanting to use. And all we're going to do is go around the letters so that we can outline the letters onto the fabric. Now that we have our outline of our lettering all done, we can actually go in and tear off the paper. Now we have the outline of the name. Now we get to go in and fill it all with string, and that's why I didn't undo my string from it when I got finished, so I could keep going with this and use the outline to let me know where I want to put it. And I'm gonna do it kind of loosely. I don't want to pull it tight, because if you pull it too tight, then you end up bunching up your string. So you kind of want to keep it loose. Now that I have embroidered this name on here, of course I hand did it, so it's not exactly perfect, but it looks pretty good, I believe. And as you can see, we did it on the inside here, and this is going to be hidden away by this fabric right here. And you basically sew that together to keep it in place while you sew the rest, that way it doesn't come undone. This is going to be the hook, so you can hang your stocking up. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew it inside out, and then we're going to turn it inside out. Now that we have it like we want it, we're going to go and iron it and shape it like so. See, now it's all ironed into the shape that I'm wanting it. And I'm going to take this right here, the bottom half of the stocking, and inside I'm going to pin it like this. And I'm going to sew that for placement. Now you're going to take it just like this, and you're going to find that end piece where the seam is sewn together. And you're going to take this where the seam is sewn together, and you're going to pin it just like that, and line up those seams together and pin it in place. I'm going to stuff this in here and kind of put it like in a ring around. I'm going to go about a ½ inch in above the other stitch line. And then once we have it done, cut the ends off. And you see it's all sewn together, and all we have to do is flip it on over. And there you have it. You have your stocking. I got both stockings all done, and I absolutely love them and can't wait to hang them. And don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't forget to watch Advent calendars all the way to the 24th. And I will See you next year on the 10th.